After defeating Emma Raducanu in the final and going on a 6-match winning streak that made her one of the best players of the entire grass season, Donna Vekic was hoisting the Queen's Club trophy in London a week ago. Less than 2 weeks before Wimbledon starts, Alex Eala has a rematch against the one player who has actually stopped her on grass this year, and the one who might tell us whether this Filipina breakthrough is real or just a brilliant flash that grass court tennis sometimes produces and then takes away just as fast. Let's examine what has actually happened to Alex Eala over the last few weeks because the timeline is truly remarkable. She won the Birmingham Open, her second career WTA 125 title, defeating her own doubles partner, Nikola Bardankova, in the final. After that, she went to Queen's Club and lost in the second round, which seems like a step back on paper. However, she later arrived in Berlin as a wild card and defeated Vekic once more, the same player who had just won Queens a few days prior. After winning a grass court title a few days earlier, Vekic entered that match with a lot of momentum. It was irrelevant. Eala simply continued to treat her the way she had all year. In actuality, this was their second encounter of the year. In January, Eala also prevailed 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 in a thrilling 3-set match at the Auckland round of 32. Eala has now defeated Vekic twice on 2 distinct surfaces, hardcourt in January and grass in June. On the WTA Tour, she is now 2-0 versus the Croatian. You may learn a lot about her current level of skill from the manner she performed in Berlin. Eala answered to Vekic's early break with a double break of her own, and after falling down 2-4, she won 3 straight games to take control of the set. She made just 2 double faults, hit 7 aces, and most importantly, saved 12 of the 14 break points she encountered during the game. That player isn't being carried by their form. That's a player that consistently performs under intense pressure in the crucial moments that determine games. This is the most important element of the narrative. Eala's serve is the major issue separating her from the top athletes, according to former world number 9 Andrea Petkovic, who stated, "The serve is very inconsistent. She occasionally struggles to make first serves, and her second serve is highly vulnerable to attack." That's a fair and honest judgment from someone who is well-versed in the women's tour, and it has been a cloud over Eala's career thus far. Extraordinary ball strike, real talent, but a serve that comes and goes. In the pivotal moment of the match against Vekic in Berlin on grass, Vekic surged to 0-43 break points, the kind of scenario where a shaky server is fully exposed, and Eala saved all 3 before closing it out with consecutive, unreturnable serves. Vekic was serving for the match at 5-4 in the second set. That is not fortuitous. That serve held up just when it was supposed to. Afterwards, she remarked, "I told myself that she was fighting back, but I had to try because I'm a fighter too. It has always been challenging for me to portray Donna. She is an amazing player. I'm thrilled with today's outcome." She gave a straightforward explanation of the more comprehensive mental strategy that has helped her get through these difficult times. "I think after one point, especially if she wins with a winner, you just have to remember, forget the last point and stay in the moment. Before I serve, I make a decision." For a 21-year-old to discuss pressure in such a way is very mature. Prior to serving, make a decision. Don't apply the previous point to the subsequent one. It sounds easy. She is performing one of the most difficult tasks under actual stress. Rybakina, this is where things become complex because Eala isn't winning the head-to-head right now. Last month, Rybakina defeated Eala 6-4, 6-3 in straight sets in Rome, winning 73% of her first serve points and breaking her serve 4 times. Clay was that. Since winning Wimbledon in 2022, Rybakina has been one of the top grass court players on the circuit, thus the surface shift is crucial in this situation. On faster surfaces, her serve, which is already among the most formidable in the women's game, becomes even more potent. She's not limited to grass. She is among the world's top grass court players. However, the most intriguing factor in the entire scenario is Eala's grass form. Quietly, her grass court swing has emerged as one of her season's most promising phases. A developing theory that grass may be the ideal surface for Vekic's aggressive ball striking and her propensity to take the ball early and stand within the baseline has been reinforced by her victory. On grass, where the ball stays low and players who dedicate themselves to first-strike tennis rather than waiting and grinding are rewarded. That positioning, taking time away from opponents, and preventing protracted defensive rallies from developing is precisely the kind of game that plays well. This will be Eala's third grass court competition of the year and her 17th overall, as she continues to get ready for what will just be her second appearance in the Wimbledon main draw. It is important to keep it in mind. She is still relatively new at this stage of her career on this particular surface at the largest tournament in the sport, despite all the momentum and form. In addition to being the biggest singles victory in Philippine tennis history, a victory over Rybakina in Berlin would be as significant going into Wimbledon. When the largest tournament of the grass season starts on June 29th, it would secure a greater seeding and place her in a better position in the draw. Eala should have a straightforward belief going into this rematch. The player who lost in Rome is no longer the same. The ace count versus Vekic, the breakpoints saved under intense duress, and the poise in the most crucial situations have all made the serve that Petkovic criticized appear much more strong throughout this grass swing. Between surfaces, Rybakina's game doesn't really vary. Everywhere, the serve is the serve. However, Eala's game has clearly changed and improved for grass, and this is the kind of progress that transforms a promising young player into someone who can consistently compete with the best players, regardless of their online identity. Whether you defeat Rybakina or not, the bigger picture has already been written. As she approaches her second ever Wimbledon, Alex Eala, ranked 35th in the world, has defeated a Queen's Club champion twice this season, won a championship in Birmingham, and developed the most promising grass court form of her career. She arrives in London with good cause to believe, regardless of what transpires on Thursday night. Can Eala defeat Rybakina on grass at last? How far do you think she'll go this year at Wimbledon? Post it in the comments. That concludes our discussion for today. Please subscribe and leave a like if you liked the video. Posting movies every day is really beneficial to me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you at the next one.